What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jaclyn. Welcomed here today by Cousin Owen. Happy to have Cousin Owen on anytime, but especially this week. We had week 18 of the NFL conclude. The NFL regular season is over. Wow. First of all, what a season. What a season we got to experience. We have to start off with Ravens Steelers last night. What word comes to mind for you describing the way to end the regular season last night?
Did you say one word? Is that what you asked me?
One word.
Extraordinary.
Perfect word. Last night was absolutely incredible. So obviously last night's game was probably the biggest game of the week other than the Saturday games that determined Bucks, Panthers had, about if they're going to make it into the playoffs. The Bucks won that game, but because the Saints lost, the Bucks are not in the playoffs. The Panthers are in. And then that night game to determine seeding for the Niners Seahawks. Last night, however, though, was Ravens versus Steelers. Winner is in the playoffs. Loser is out, going home, go on vacay, whatever you want to do. We were spoiled with a game, with the fourth quarter to be exact. We saw vintage Aaron Rodgers. We saw Lamar Jackson having one of his MVP games, and it ended on a missed field goal. The Ravens had an unreal drive. Lamar Jackson making unreal plays, unreal throws, dying seconds, bring out their kicking unit for what looked like a chip shot to win the game. Tyler Loop, I feel so bad for this guy, misses the field goal. The Steelers are on to the playoffs. Ravens are going home. Insanity.
Yeah, it's Jaclyn. I couldn't say it better myself. It was what a game. I personally was cheering for the Steelers.
Same.
My dad grew up. He was a Steelers fan, so kind of a team that I will, over the years, we've obviously talked about how we're Giants fans and the Bills are local, but the Steelers are also a team I kind of will root for here and there. So I was definitely cheering for the Steelers, and I was like, with my dad watching, I was like, come on, man, can he miss this field goal? Like, can he do it? I mean, that fourth quarter was unbelievable, right? Like, first off, I got to say, and just a side note, I mean, obviously part of the game, but nothing made me giggle more than watching them do the whatever you call it, the brotherly shove, the QB sneak, and Aaron Rodgers just stands like 40 feet back. It's like, why is he even on the field? It's like the most prima donna, and we all know Aaron Rodgers is a bit of a prima donna. There's nothing more prima donna than him actually standing like 15 feet back and just being like, well, whatever happens, happens, And granted, he's like 40 years old, and if he took one of those hits, he'd actually die. So we don't want to see a real life NFL death, but like,
oh my god,
it's so funny just watching him stand like all the way back. I just think he probably just shouldn't be on the field because they can get someone else to actually help with the push.
Right.
So I don't know if that's
backup. Any backup.
I don't know if it caters to his ego or what, but he actually is like a liability during that play because they can get someone to like push the guys forward. But I mean, to like the important part of the game, that's just kind of a side note. Like, what an ending, right? Like, he misses the field goal, which is insane. And we've seen some famous misses over the years. I think the Vikings, like, was it Blair Walsh had that like 20 something yard miss?
That's
like
the Seahawks, right? Wild card. Yeah. 2016, 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Obviously, like, the most famous one is Scott Norwood against the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Of
also,
course.
By the way, that was like 40 something also. So like a similar field goal length. It was an amazing game, and quite frankly, I think most people agree with me. It felt like the Steelers were the better team this season, and they were the deserving team.
I felt that,
to make the playoffs. So I definitely think like there's no justice, in sports necessarily. It's how you perform. But if there ever is justice, it kind of felt like it because I really do feel like the Steelers were the better team and the more deserving team. So yeah, and also we discussed this at the beginning of the season, Jaclyn. It felt like the best game of the year, and I still stand by it, was Bills Ravens. This might have been top 5 though, and it's another Ravens game.
The fourth quarter, I think, was the best. Was the best football I've seen.
Yeah, so I still think like overall football, that game, Ravens Bills, is the best, which is crazy. But to me, this was a top 5 football game all season. It was incredible.
It was incredible, man. No, you know what? I'm looking back at some of the best games, and I actually missed some of them because I was on holiday, and you were texting me being like, emergency pod, and I was like, I'm off. And I slept through those games. I was asleep.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember what game. I did text you recently.
It was Rams-Seahawks game.
No. Bears. It was the Bears versus the Bears just faced. It just happened. It was
The not the
Packers.
Bears
Bears.
Niners.
No, Bears Packers.
No, I was around for that.
No, no,
What
no.
game was it?
It was they got the onside kick, the Bears versus the Packers. This happened like a week or two ago.
Let me check. Oh no, so you text me Rams Seahawks. That's when you text me the
Well, that was
overtime game.
incredible. That was
December
incredible.
18th.
Well, hold on. We just had.
You're right. Packers Bears Saturday to December
Yes.
20th. Yeah, and
Yes.
you said this is insanity. I remember
Yeah,
you were
Jaclyn,
you were spooked. You were spooked. That was the word you used.
Jaclyn, losing my mind. First off, the Hail Mary touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
The guy was
insane.
like on the ground,
Insane.
looked like he was injured, and he wasn't injured. He was just like, I think, breathing
Yeah.
heavily. Oh my god, they recovered the onside kick. Hail Mary I think it was an OT, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
I missed it. I watched the highlights and I missed a lot. I'm so
Jaclyn,
mad. So
that
mad.
was one of the best. That was one of the best games. Also, I mean, and the fact that it ended on like a Hail Mary, Caleb Williams. I don't even know who caught the ball. That was unbelievable too.
DJ Moore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
DJ
yeah,
Moore.
DJ Moore. Yeah, yeah.
That game was unbelievable.
Insane.
Well,
I'm
how
so
often
mad.
do we see? So how often do we see an onside kick recovered? Almost never.
Twice a year,
How
maybe
often-
once a year.
Maybe once a year. How often do you see the onside kick recovered and they win the game?
Yeah, that is cinema. That's the way to put it, man. Cinema. And
That's
then
why
Bears
yeah.
Niners happened recently, which was also like the game of the year. So there was, and also
Yeah.
the Giants Cowboys game that we ended up losing. That was one of the
Yeah.
craziest games as well. So many amazing games. But last night, fourth quarter, vintage Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Lamar Jackson can still get to what he is meant to be. He had struggled this year with injuries, but we saw Lamar have one of his MVP moments in that game. Unreal stuff. So, moving on now. So Steelers are in wild card, Ravens are done, which I think going into the season we would not have expected. No Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Yeah. Who would have thought that Drake May and Bo Nix and Sam Darnold would be the top guys in the playoffs? That is what makes the season so spectacular. And also, watching the Steelers, I'm not a Steelers fan. Like, I've never really had a connection with them. I always like watching Rodgers because he's just like Aaron frickin' Rodgers. Sure. But Mike Tomlin, I believe Mike Tomlin is the greatest NFL coach of all time. I think he's better than Belichick. I think he's better than Andy Reid. I think he's the greatest of all time.
It's an interesting take, right? Like, he always finishes above 500. I don't know if he has accolades of all other coaches. He's certainly in top 5, top 10, certainly. It's just like you have so many good coaches, from Bill Parcells to, like you said, Reid to Belichick. There's so many great coaches, right? Even I'm totally blanking on his name, Sean Payton, right? There's a lot of great coaches we've seen. So it's hard for me to say he's number 1, but is he top 5, top 10? He's certainly in the conversation. Yeah. And is he the greatest regular season coach of all time? It's hard not to say top 3 there. The reason I'm not saying number 1, Jaclyn, is just because you also have Belichick, who was a regular season whiz, right?
But Belichick had Tom Brady all these years, while Tomlin has had to work with so many different quarterbacks, and yet makes the playoffs. Last year it was Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. He was a playoff team.
I know. Right? There's a lot of great coaches, but I'm certainly not arguing with you, Jaclyn, that he's not top 5, top 10 ever. He's right there.
I think he's top 3, and I think he's top 3, and I don't think he's 3 or 2. I think he's 1.
Crazy. He's fantastic. He is fantastic, right? So
so just like seeing that last night and seeing what the Steelers have done with Aaron Rodgers, who honestly probably should have been finished going into this season, yet now they're a playoff team. They also were without DK Metcalf because he punched the Lions fan. So being able to do all of this in this game was spectacular. And another coach that we got to talk about was John Harbaugh, Ravens head coach, has been there forever. Is he in the hot seat now? Because nothing has worked with Lamar Jackson, who's potentially one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We have never seen them get past anything.
I've had huge arguments with one of my close friends about Lamar Jackson. I've always said basically I don't want to be rude on this podcast, but basically he's a loser. Basically is what I've said. I don't think he's a loser,
but continue.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've said about him, if I'm going to be real.
Lamar, I love you. I love you. Don't listen to Owen. Continue.
I'm not a fan. I'm honestly not. Listen, great talent. He's amazing. He is an amazing quarterback. Just don't think he's a winner.
I know. I agree.
So, Harbaugh, legendary coach, also one of the great coaches. I don't know. Maybe he's in the hot seat. I don't know if it's Harbaugh, if it's Lamar, if it's the overall team. I mean, I know they had tons of injuries this year. Lamar was injured for portions of the year, and they had a lot of issues. They're going to have to take a look at something. The crazy thing is, Jaclyn, if they sneak into the playoffs, who knows what they could do? That's a dangerous team. I was seeing tons of articles saying you don't want to let the Ravens sneak into the playoffs because they're a dangerous team.
But they sneak in every year and they've never done anything. Right?
No, but there's
In the
other
last
years.
three seasons, it was a Zay Flowers fumble, Mark Andrews drop, and then a missed kick.
But
They've had their moments, but they
you're
can't get
right.
past.
You're right, but the difference is those teams have gotten in more comfortably. When I mean sneak it in, like they would have snuck in with 9 wins,
Right.
barely made the playoffs. And who knows? But the other thing too is, I'll say this too. I call Lamar Jackson a loser. There's also Josh Allen, who we love. So, to be fair, if I'm calling Lamar Jackson a loser, you almost have to call Josh Allen a loser, and I don't call Josh Allen a loser because
Yeah.
I really like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it just takes getting over the hump to really get there. Is Harbaugh on the hot seat? The answer is probably yes, and he should be, right? No, he
Yeah.
hasn't done anything in the playoffs, didn't even make the playoffs this year. He should be in the hot seat. I have a question for you, though, Jaclyn, and I know you're going to say no,
Is
but
this related to the Giants?
no, it's related
Oh,
to Steelers. So
never mind.
it's
Never mind.
Ravens Steelers. No. How much can Mike Tomlin get away with barely sneaking in? Literally every year barely sneaking in and losing in the first round and not being on the hot seat. How many
But
times
that's
can he get
because
away with that?
because Harbaugh, the difference, Harbaugh has a powerhouse of a team. You have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson on the same freaking team. Mike Tomlin has had to deal with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. He's had to deal with Kenny Pickett, right? He's had to deal with mediocre quarterbacks and finding ways to win. He had to deal with DK Metcalf being out for the last 2 games, one of the best receivers in the NFL, right? He's had to deal with so much drama last season with George Pickens. Tomlin deserves all the love because if Tomlin had these weapons that Harbaugh gets, it's a different story. I believe if Mike Tomlin was coaching the Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens would have won the Super Bowl at least 2 times in the last 10 years.
Wow, that's bold.
That is what I'm saying.
2 times.
I think Mike Tomlin would have allowed the Ravens to beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs, and beat whoever they had to play against the NFC.
I will say
That is
this,
my take.
Mike Tomlin with the Bills would be dangerous.
Mike Tomlin with anyone would be dangerous with a really good quarterback. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not a great quarterback. He's one of the greatest of all time, but he's 40 years old. Like, dude cannot play football anymore. He shouldn't be playing, yet we see vintage stuff.
But you know what? I will say, and he looked horrible the last few years, Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He really, a little bit of a resurgence this year. He looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously is not very mobile. I will say, this is probably his last year, and you know what? It should be because at least he goes out making the playoffs.
Exactly, he should go out on top. 100% agreed.
He should go, and really, like, going out on top at this point for him is playoffs. He was a disaster with the Jets. Disaster. Was he anywhere else before the Jets?
No, just the Jets. But like the last couple of years with the Packers didn't go well.
So disaster. So he should go out this year, and it was honestly, a beautiful swan song for him if this is it. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin, I agree with you. He's a great coach. He makes whatever he has work. Even if that's Aaron Rodgers standing 40 feet backwards, just like arms in the air or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen, just to kind of give my final thoughts on the Steelers, the Ravens, and all of it. I mean, what a great way to end the season. What an amazing game. And really, I was happy. Like I said, my dad kind of grew up a Steelers fan. He does not really anymore, but he still likes them. So I kind of have a little bit of affection for them too, and was super happy to see the Steelers get very fortunate and make the playoffs. Who are they facing, by the way?
So that leads us to the wild card preview, which I'm very happy you led us there because the wild card, the greatest weekend in sports possibly, wild card weekend comes up this Saturday. So let me just read the entire list. Saturday, January 10th at 4:30 p.m. we're getting LA Rams against the Carolina Panthers. That could be sneaky because the Panthers beat the Rams just a few weeks ago, right? A lot of people consider this maybe as a Rams blowout, but the Panthers are sneaky good. Next, 8:00 p.m. Saturday night, Packers at Bears. I am so excited for that. Man, that is exciting. January 11th, 1:00 p.m. Bills at Jaguars. Again, could be sneaky. Trevor Lawrence has become like unreal the past couple weeks. Trevor Lawrence has turned into something spectacular.
Sorry to cut you off, John. I don't think sneaky. I think it's a disaster if you're a Jags or a Bills fan because you got matched up in a brutal game. Mm-hmm. Brutal. I was talking to my brother about it. I think it's horrible for both teams. Imagine you make the playoffs, you're excited. There's some teams that are definitely weaker, like in my opinion. There's no weak teams, but there's teams that are a little bit weaker. Say it's the Steelers, even maybe the Bears. I don't think the Bears are weak, but they're not the best necessarily. if I'm a Bills fan or a Jags fan, I'm not happy because this is a tough matchup both
This could go,
ways. So
yeah, it could go any way. Both teams score a ton of points. I
yeah,
am looking forward to this immensely. Next, we have Niners at Eagles for the 4:30 game. Could be really, really interesting as well. I'm really excited for that matchup. And then Sunday Night Football, Chargers at Patriots. I think the Chargers are the weakest link this season. I don't, Herbert was out yesterday, obviously, but like, man, they looked well. Their team was pretty much out yesterday, but I think the Chargers are the weakest link in this playoffs. But still, we're gonna see them against the Patriots, and then Monday Night Football, Texans at Steelers, and that's Wild Card Weekend.
exciting, very exciting.
Very exciting, man. I like Wild Card Weekend is the best. Like it's straight up the best. I think the game I'm looking forward to the most, I Packers Bears, because that rivalry is back finally after decades. We haven't seen a proper rivalry because the Packers have just owned the Bears all these years. Now it's a different story. The Bears are something really special. Caleb Williams, man, he is so fun to watch. I don't think he's not the best quarterback. His accuracy isn't great, but the power he has, I think he actually throws the ball too hard because I see a lot of his players drop the ball because it just pops off their chest because that he throws a bullet.
He has had a resurgence. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone expected his resurgence because he's had some miserable seasons.
Well, no,
Um,
it's only his is this his it's his third season.
third,
No,
no, third, right? Am I
no, this
crazy?
is this is his second season. He was
Okay, I
drafted
take
in
it back.
2024.
Okay, I thought it was his third season. So either way, if and he started last year, correct? And he
He
wasn't
started.
right.
Yeah, he
Okay,
started right away, and it wasn't great.
I take that back. He's had it maybe one not great season, not miserable season. I should be fair to him.
It feels
But yeah,
longer. It feels longer.
yeah, I thought it was like his third season to be honest. Look, he's been exciting. I mean, like I said, that Hail Mary touchdown was one of my favorite moments of the
Yeah,
year. I was like, wow, it was a beautiful ball, beautiful
yeah.
catch, beautiful moment. I that's a great game. I'm super excited for that. Parsons out, correct? Done for the year,
He's out,
finished, right?
unfortunately. I
So
know.
unfortunate. I would love to see Parsons running after Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Listen, fantastic game. Two great teams. It's crazy to say because I thought the Bears were going to come third in their division, third or fourth.
Mhm.
I think the Bears are going to win that game. I think the
Yeah.
Bears are a better team.
I think so too. I think they
Yeah.
are a much not I'm not gonna say much better team. I just know that the matchup is gonna be great no matter what. Jordan Love against Caleb Williams, right? Two guys who are really proving themselves because Jordan Love also he's been in longer than Caleb obviously, but he's also trying to get over that hump and kind of prove himself as a franchise quarterback. Well, Caleb still has time to, but I think he already has proved himself as a franchise quarterback for this being his second year. And Ben Johnson, like what he has done to this team as a head coach, leaving the Lions as an offensive coordinator, and really changing the narrative of what Chicago football looks like. And it's very impressive, and I'm super excited. So cannot wait for those games. And speaking of coaches, I want to talk about the Giants. I'm kind of
Sure.
I know I'm all excited about the playoffs, and now I'm going to the depressing Giants.
Sure.
So the Giants won yesterday, meaning they are not having the first pick overall. They will be drafting fifth overall. A lot of Giants fans are angry. I am not one of them. I do not want the first pick overall because it's going to go to a quarterback, Mendoza, probably from Indiana, who is a great player. Super excited to see him in football. Jackson Dart is our guy, and I want the fifth pick. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so it sucks. I would love the second or third pick because we had a chance at second or third pick too.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I just love beating the Cowboys.
Yeah, me
Like
too. I
I
love
love
it.
beating the Cowgirls. I just love beating the Cowgirls. So we wiped the floor with them.
Yeah.
It was revenge for week two or whenever we faced them at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
love beating the Cowboys. It brings a tear to my eyes to see them beat the Cowboys. We beat them 34-17. We stomped
Yeah.
all over them.
It was pretty. It was pretty
So I'm
for
not
us.
mad. Yeah, it was beautiful. I didn't watch. I mean, to be honest, I had other priorities, which we can get into. I'm more referring to hockey. We can talk about that after,
Sure.
so we don't
Sure.
do a sharp turn. But yeah, I love seeing us beat the Cowboys. And no, I was happy. Ultimately, look, Jaclyn, we talk about tanking, and there's always conspiracies. Do the players actually tank, not tank? In my opinion, when there's jobs in the line like there are with New York, I don't think coaches and players really ever truly tank. I think they're giving it their all. So I think they did that. They gave it their all. Fifth pick is totally fine. We can get a great receiver. We can
Yeah.
get some offensive line.
Yeah.
Um, I think we have to go receiver or offensive line. I'd be pretty
I
mad if we
agree.
didn't go receiver or offensive line. So we go with one of those positions, hopefully. Yeah, look, miserable season. Good ending, but miserable season. Hopefully, we get a great draft pick.
Listen, this season, Brian Dayball was fired a little bit earlier on, And we had injuries, right? Jackson Dart was injured. Malik Neighbors injured. Cam Scadaboo injured. Some of our defense was injured. This season wasn't meant to be, but I believe that this next season, the 2026-2027 season, we will be a wild card team. Because I believe Jackson Dart, if these guys stay healthy, Scadaboo, Dart, Neighbors, that is a scary trio in my opinion. I believe Jackson Dart is a franchise quarterback. And they need the right coaching. And also with their draft pick, either get a great offensive lineman or a wide receiver. Carnell Tate is a name that's going around right now that the Giants could definitely pick. There's some big receivers, Jordan Tyson as well. Big names.
I just imagine like a Twin Tower situation, right? You have a guy across, like you have Neighbors on the right or Neighbors on the left, and then a guy on the right, and it's like, well, now what are you gonna do? You're gonna double Neighbors? You're gonna leave the other like? So I just imagine we could have a beautiful Twin Tower situation here, with two huge threats. So I think it's receiver, but the only thing I'd accept that's not receiver is someone for the offensive line. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like just like the Packers did when they took what was his name? I don't even know how much he played or if he was that good this year, but they took Matthew Golden. They took Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how good he was, by the way, or if you know how good he was this
I
year.
honestly don't even remember any receiver that played for the Packers this year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could look at his stats after to see if he was even good for them or how much he played.
Yeah.
But like I want the same thing they did to Packers. I want a receiver. Yeah. If not, we take an offensive lineman. But yeah, look, it wasn't meant to be. A lot of injuries. Hopefully, Neighbors and Scadaboo are back at some point next season. Because they had serious injuries, so it could take some time. Yeah. Listen, I'm excited for the Giants' future. We got a lot of pieces, and I know we were bad, Jaclyn, but I don't think we're as bad as our record was. I do believe.
Agreed.
I do believe with a few pieces, we're not that far away from the playoffs.
100% agreed. And I think that also comes down to our coach. So we are in the market for a coach. I believe, because there are a lot of teams that fired their coaches. Titans fired their coach. Falcons fired their coach. I was surprised about, actually. Browns fired Kevin Stefanski, who I would actually like to talk about very soon because I'm very interested in him. Raiders let go of Pete Carroll. Not surprised. And then Cardinals as well. So there's a lot of teams that need a coach right now. I believe the Giants are the most attractive team because they have this great young core that really can be special with the right coaching. And so now that brings me to my next question is who will the Giants hire as their next head coach? Because Joe Schoen is staying, Giants GM. Don't know if I love that decision. A lot of Giants fans are very iffy on that choice. We haven't seen success with him, but that could come with the right coach. So what head coach do you want to see with this Giants team for the 2026, 2027 season?
I'm going to give you a huge wild card, and I read articles about teams thinking about him. What about Phillip Rivers?
I did see that as well. I
saw articles. Look, I know it's random. I know it's crazy. He was almost our quarterback once upon a time, right? He almost played for the Giants.
Throwback.
Right? He almost throwback. I don't know. I know it's random. I know he's young. I know maybe he doesn't have the experience. But what about a Phillip Rivers? Hell,
I see him as a QB coach. I would love him as a QB coach. I really cannot. Listen, we've seen crazier things. So the thought of Phillip Rivers becoming a head coach is not that out of the ordinary there. We've seen not, crazy things. I personally, I want Ravens to fire Harbaugh, and I want Harbaugh to come to the Giants.
So that would be, in a beautiful world, I would love that. What I think is realistic and what I hope will happen is Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll is a great coach. He's energetic. He feels young and hard. I actually, I can see by your face you're not necessarily sold on him. I like Pete Carroll. He's a winner.
I liked Pete Carroll on the Seahawks.
I still like him.
He's done. I think he needs to. He's the oldest coach in the NFL. He's like in his mid-70s.
I know he's older, but I feel like he's young at heart, and I think with the right team, he could have success. If you ask me, I mean, Harbaugh, you made up like a fake scenario almost, so it's hard to entertain that,
I did. I made up my own scenario.
It's almost like you saying, if Brady could go back 12 years and be on the Giants, I'd take him. Well, so would I, Jaclyn, right? So if we're
but Harbaugh's not crazy that they're going to fire him. It's not working with whatever's going on with Lamar.
Right. So listen, if they fire him, we can have an emergency podcast and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you said to me, I like, I don't know, something about Pete Carroll, I like him. Maybe I'm crazy or wrong, but I do like Pete Carroll.
Another interesting name is Stefanski, who we've seen with the Browns for a while. We saw him have success. He won Coach of the Year, I believe, a couple years ago, right? We saw that. We saw a playoff run with that team before. Obviously, the past couple of years have been ugly with scenarios that they've been put in. Also, the way he handled Shedeur Sanders was really interesting this year of not putting him with the first team and then putting him in as quarterback in a game. Yeah. I still believe that he is a great coach, though. and I would be very interested in him coming to New York.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Cleveland's a disaster, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to do anything right there. Like
Hmm.
truly a disaster.
Yeah.
I don't know what do they call it, a fire dumpster. Just a
Yeah.
disaster of an
Bad.
organization.
Bad stuff.
Um, Stefanski, I would be fine with. I think he has potential as a coach. I think that's not a bad um, decision. The truth is, a lot of times you end up having like random, like it ends up being a random coach you didn't expect, or
Yeah.
someone kind of off the grid. So I wouldn't be surprised Jaclyn ends up being someone we don't really expect.
Yeah.
Maybe someone internal. I mean, you just never know what happens.
No. Yeah,
Um,
no, you don't, because look at what Liam Cohen did with the Jaguars when everyone was roasting him when
yeah,
they signed him, and now he's really changed the narrative of what the Jaguars are. You never
yeah,
know what, and also
yeah.
like there's so many
Right.
guys that can really change your team without really knowing who they are in the beginning, and
And
could be a superstar with you.
and it's funny you say it, and I know it sounds crazy, but I don't even think we're. And I know you might think I'm nuts, but I think we're not that far away from Mike Tomlin being fired. I know we already talked about him, and I know you think I'm dead wrong, but I just think,
Yeah.
like, especially if he's booted in the first round this year, I think they get to a point where they're like, he's a great coach, but we need someone that can get us over the hump. So, by the way, like, if we're talking down the road, maybe 2 to 3 years, I could see Mike Talbot in the blue and white. I could totally
That
see
would
it.
be
And not
insane.
not listen. We're not talking tomorrow. We're not talking next year because he'll have enough rope that he'll make next season because just making the playoffs is good
Yeah,
enough, right? But
yeah.
I could see it 2 to 3 years him being on the blue and white. I could see it. I could see it honestly. Yeah. I know.
Listen,
I
I
could.
don't want that to be the scenario because I hope that our next head coach works out, obviously. But if it doesn't, man, we would have so many great coaches, man, of this team.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
and yeah,
no, that'd be fantastic. I was just gonna say it'd be amazing.
another name going around is Steve Spagnuolo, who
I like him a
New
lot.
York Giants legend,
A winner
winner,
through and through.
Super Bowl
Oh my
champion. This coaching staff.
Jaclyn, Jaclyn, I would take that in a second. Oh my God, Steve Spagnuolo. I didn't even know that was on the table. Jaclyn,
Well,
that's my pick.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's
Hold on
fully
a
on the
second.
table
But forget about Carroll. Forget about Stefanski. Oh my God, I would take that. I might take that over anyone.
over
Hands down.
Harbaugh.
I might take that over. I think I'd take that over Harbaugh. I love Steve Spagnuolo. Legend, winner,
The greatest.
multiple Super Bowls. Love him. Would take him in a
Yeah.
second. In a second.
Listen, he's been with the Chiefs since 2019, and we've seen what that defense has looked like. And obviously, we know what the Giants looked like for those Super Bowl
Oh,
championships. I would adore it.
yeah.
Defensive mind. That's the problem, though, a little bit, is that it's a strict defensive mind where I don't know how he would act as the head coach of a very
I
unique offense.
I think if there's someone who would convert to a great head coach, it's him. He'd figure it out. A lot of these guys, right, start off right like a lot of these
Belichick
guys
was
start off. He
defense,
started
right?
off. Belichick
Yeah.
was under Bill Parcells, right?
Yeah.
Like so, you start off
Yeah.
under and Spagnuolo's at the point where he could be a head coach. He's old enough, mature enough. I think he totally is ready. Oh my God, I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that, Chocolate.
I
If
don't
that's on the
know.
table, that would be
It's like
amazing.
it's like I think you can bet on it maybe. I don't know if it's really that
Sure,
on the table as I'm making it
sure.
seem. However, if it is, he's in my top three wanting him. I would say
He's
my top three guys. Okay, in a world if Harbaugh does get fired, Harbaugh's number one. I would have Spagnola number two. And I think three would be the one who's actually available right now would be Stefanski.
so for me, Spagnuolo's top two, and he's not two. That's all I'm gonna say. He's top two, and he ain't two, Jacqueline. All right, that would be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible.
Man, that would bring nostalgia back to this team. That would
Yeah,
bring who knows also who else that would bring to wanting to be a part of the Giants of a coaching staff as well. Like, can we get Michael Strahan to come coach or something?
I would
Like
love that.
I know he's killing it in the media world and he's like a superstar. Can we get Tom Coughlin back? Like, man, when Coughlin was
Tom Coughlin's a dinosaur. I don't want Tom Coughlin back.
no,
And
I
by
just
the way,
want him like a part of the team. I want a part of
I,
the
I
team.
know. I feel like I've said this before. I think he's part of the Jags organization now.
Yeah, he is. He is. I believe,
I
or at
feel
least he
like
has been the past couple of
I,
years.
I feel like I've said this, but I read Michael Strahan's biography, and he said like Coughlin's brutal, like actually brutal to deal with, like so old school, just an
Yeah,
absolute
that is
nightmare to
true.
deal with. So like I couldn't even imagine now how bitter and old he'd be. So like I don't want him back. But like, hey, if you put Michael Strahan as like a D line coach, sign me up. Helping with the
That'd be
defensive line,
sick. Imagine
sign me
Lawrence
up.
Taylor. Imagine Lawrence Taylor coming back to the Giants.
Oh, amazing. It'd be amazing. Now, I
That'd
will
be
say,
unreal.
Jaclyn, I will say, as much as I'm enjoying this head Giants kind of
Yeah.
talk, coaches, Michael Strahan, maybe we get Eli Manning in the fix. As much as I'm
QB
enjoying,
coach Eli Manning.
seriously, as much as I enjoy this, I do think we should talk about these matchups, the wild card matchups, break them
Please,
down.
would
And
love to.
I would love to go through the games one by one if you don't mind, and just
Of
kind of talk about
course.
because it's
That's my
exciting.
favorite thing to do. That's why I
Yeah,
do this thing, baby. That's
so
why I do this thing.
I don't know if you have it pulled up, but I would
I
love
have
to
it right
like.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
All
talk
right.
about the
So
games.
Rams Panthers. We've seen the matchup already this season. We saw the Panthers
Yeah,
embarrass Matthew Stafford, potential MVP, which we will talk about after our
sure,
wild card dissect here.
sure.
My pick for this, I'm still gonna go Rams. I think the Rams are a much cleaner team. They have Sean McVay, who has done this before. He's a winner. The Panthers are very new to this. I think Bryce Young is a great talent, but Matthew Stafford is having an MVP year. Puka Nakua is unstoppable. I think the Rams are going to win this, but I don't think it's going to be any sort of blowout.
So Matthew Stafford, possible MVP, 46 touchdowns, I believe.
Something
Unbelievable
like that,
season.
yeah.
Look, he's aging and he had the best season of his career.
Yeah,
46 touchdowns. Unbelievable. I
exactly.
mean,
Late
that's
30s. He's in his late
yeah.
30s, man.
Yeah, he had Brady numbers this year. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. I actually think Rams by destruction. I think the Panthers are going to see the Panthers, I believe, went 8-9. They were not a
Yeah.
very good football team. I know they made the playoffs, but they weren't a good football team. 8-9 is not a good football team. So they were a below average football team that was in a garbage division, a division that should have had Baker Mayfield leading his team to
I
the playoffs, but
know.
he fell off a cliff and it made me sad and whatever. Because I like Baker Mayfield a lot. Anyways, I say Rams win by 2 touchdowns. I think Matthew Stafford balls out and they win by 2 touchdowns.
All right, I like that pick. It's also in Carolina,
Yep.
which could change some stuff, but still will be
Yeah.
excited. Packers Bears. I think we already kind of talked about it a little bit. That's going to be the I think it's going to be the game of the weekend. I expect both QBs to be balling out. I expect the Bears to get the win because their running game is better, and I think that could be a big factor because we don't know what the weather is going to be. It could be very cold, and we know in the cold, it's not easy to throw the ball. Running
Yep.
wins games, and DeAndre Swift is having himself a great year.
Yep.
And I think the Bears, I think the Bears have issues, but so do the Packers. I'm going to go Bears. Tight game, field goal winning
I
drive.
completely agree with you. I think the running game's gonna be huge in this game. I think Jordan Love is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's in Chicago, which I think is big for the Bears. Being the home team is huge. They'll be rowdy in Chicago for sure. I expect a really tight game, maybe a safety, a field goal. I could see it being like a game-winning field goal. I'm gonna go Bears, and also really, really tight, good contest.
Awesome. We got Bills Jags. I think that's going to be all offense the entire game. I
Sure.
expect both QBs to throw 300 plus yards. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I think the Bills. Listen, I'm cheering for the Bills this playoffs, as a lot of Torontonians are. If your team is not in the playoffs, as our team is not, I will be cheering for the Bills. But as someone who's not being biased in this sense, I still believe Bills are a better team than what the Jaguars are. But I still think it's gonna be close. I think the Bills are gonna win by a touchdown, but it's gonna be just bang, 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 touchdown, touchdown, touchdown all game.
So for me, Jaclyn, this is my game of the
Mhm.
weekend. Like you had your
Yeah.
Packers Bears, this is my game of the weekend. I think this is going to be phenomenal. The spread I think has the Bills at 1.5 on the road. So the
Yeah, one and
spread
a half. Yep.
the spread dictates that it will be closer than you even think. Because 7 points is obviously a pretty nice win.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the Bills right now. They like to get behind in the first half and make these miracle comebacks. I think the Jags are a really good team. And I think if the Jags get ahead by a lot, it's going to be really hard for the Bills to pull off another miracle win.
Hmm.
Um, I really want the Bills to win. I'm not sure if they pull their old shtick of falling behind by 14 or 21 points. I think I have a hard time seeing them winning this game.
Okay.
Look, my heart says Bills, my head says Jags. I'm not sure. My heart says Bills, my
Okay.
head says Jags.
Wow.
I don't know. It's gonna be really tight. I just hope the Bills do it. I'm not gonna make a prediction. I'm just gonna say that I hope the Bills win.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Agreed. Niners Eagles. You and I do not like the Eagles. We know that very well. Not as much as the Cowboys hatred, at least for me.
Sure.
Like I don't have that same hatred
No.
towards the Eagles.
Yeah.
However, in a non-biased answer, I'm still gonna go Niners. I think the Eagles have a lot of issues. I still think Sirianni lost the locker room. I think I saw a video AJ Brown rolling his eyes at him. I think there's issues there. There's some ego issues as well in Philly. I think the Niners have really surprised me in the past couple weeks because I didn't think that they were all that until the past couple weeks. McCaffrey, I think, is going to have a great game. It could be a Saquon McCaffrey kind of game. I'm going to go Niners, but I think it's going to be a very, very tight game.
Sure. I'm going to go on the other side of you this time. Don't like the Eagles. Probably my second most hated team, second or third. I think the 49 very simply, Jack, I think the 49ers defense is Swiss cheese. We've seen that defense get exposed over and over again. I don't think they have a good defense. I don't think they have a Super Bowl, winning defense. I think the Eagles are just going to get it done. They'll put up points offensively. Could be a shootout. I'll have the Eagles winning a close game. Maybe they win by 3 or 4. But I think the difference is that the 49ers just give up too many points, and the Eagles are at home, and they're a really tough team to face at home. So I'm going to go Eagles.
All right. And then for Sunday Night Football, we have Chargers at Patriots. I think the Patriots, I don't think the Patriots are as good as what people are saying and what the record shows, because I believe they've only actually beaten one team over 500, which shows they have the easiest schedule in possibly the past 10 years of football. However, they are much better than what the Chargers are, I believe. I think the Patriots are going to blow out the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with you again. Not that the Patriots are going to win. I'm disagreeing. I think the Chargers are a very good team. I don't think they're the best, but I think they're very good. I'm going to go Patriots. They're at home.
Yeah.
Soft schedule and all. They're at home. I think they're a solid team. Drake May, another MVP candidate.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots win. I don't know. I think the Chargers are a solid team, though. I think they kind of proved this year they're a good team. They're a team to be reckoned with. I'll take Patriots by 5. Patriots by 5. Yeah.
Tie one. And then to end wildcard weekend, we have Texans at Steelers. Listen, home field advantage is important to note in the playoffs. And being at Pittsburgh is something to note for these Texans players.
Sure.
If it was in Houston, I would say Houston would get the win. I think Houston, their defense is phenomenal. And I think they're going to rattle Rodgers. However, Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers, I believe, man, this is like, because they're in Pittsburgh, because they have that home field advantage, because they have that cold, and because Rodgers dominates as well in the cold, I'm going to go Steelers by like 3. Not even 3. But it's tough. This is a tough one. This is my toughest pick, I think.
It's another one for me, Jonathan, where my head and heart say different things. Head says Steelers, heart says Texans. I'm just going to go with the Steelers because YOLO. Like, I just want Rodgers to do it. I want Tomlin to do it. I think the Texans are the better team, but I just want the Steelers to pull it off. Aaron Rodgers looked very good yesterday. Texans are one of the hottest teams in football. Like, they're probably the better team, but you know what? Like, let's just watch Aaron Rodgers stand 40 feet back and the boys just sneak it for the win, Like, let's just watch that happen. So, I'll ride with you, Jaclyn. I'll take Steelers by 3. And you know what? I'm going to call it. That's going to be my overtime game of the week. I think that game goes to overtime. And maybe the Steelers win a nice overtime game.
I like that. You know what? I'm also going to say I think the Bills-Jags could go to overtime as well. I think that could go to overtime as well. Man, overtime football is special in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. But I think, I think we can get 2. And I think that Texans-Steelers game, that is my toughest pick, I think. I think I'm going back and forth a little bit. The Texans really surprised us, though. They started the season going 0-3, and I thought they were cooked. Like, absolutely cooked. And then they just got things working again, and CJ Stroud's really proven himself, because I thought his sophomore year wasn't great. He had that great first year. Second year wasn't great. This year's figuring it out. They're being coached very well, and their defense is something special. And Houston is used to having a good defense. They're used to J.J. Watt on the field. Not to mention now we got T.J. Watt. However, this game we got T.J. Watt going against the Texans. Man, what the money I would pay to see J.J. Watt still in the NFL and going back to Houston for this game. That'd be special.
Then, I guess my other question for you, Jaclyn. You gotta love the Watts. The Watts are amazing. But what do we think of the teams that have the buys? So it's the Broncos.
Yeah.
What other team? I'm forgetting. So what do we think? Broncos, Seahawks. Where do they fit into the equation?
The Seahawks are amazing, but I don't think Sam Darnold is going to perform the same way he has this regular season in the playoffs. I respect what this team has done, but Darnold works with a great system, and it's great to see. But I think he's going to get rattled in the playoffs. I think the pressure is going to come down to him. However, that defense is special. And we've seen Seahawks with a great defense before. That's right. Defense wins championships. We know that. I don't feel confident saying Seahawks are a Super Bowl favorite. And with the Broncos, I think the Broncos are fantastic. Sean Payton has done a great job. Bo Nix is so impressive. Same thing, though. I think Bo Nix is not ready for this yet. I think he will be. I don't think this season he is ready for the team. Listen, the Patriots. Like, I look at the Patriots. If they're playing the Patriots or something, I think the Patriots are going to rattle them. What do you think with Seahawks Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and sorry, remind me, who did you just say the Broncos would possibly face next week?
Oh,
Is it?
I don't know. I kind of just said
Okay,
Patriots, like in like
sure.
the AFC
I, I,
Championship, for example.
I,
Yeah,
I don't think Bo Nix is a gamer. I don't think he's a Super Bowl quarterback. Um, so yeah, I mean, simply put, I yeah, and you were talking about Darnold. Like, I don't know if these guys are Super Bowl, Super Bowl champion quarterbacks. Yeah, I think you said it well. I don't have a ton to add. I think the Broncos have a really good defense. Really, really,
yeah,
really, really good defense.
yeah,
And if I'm honest, I didn't watch the Seahawks a lot this year. I really didn't. But
yeah,
I know they obviously had a great season. Um, I don't know if either of those teams are Super Bowl teams. They're very good, and they got the buys for a reason.
yeah,
If you ask me between Seahawks and Broncos, who I like more, I like the Broncos more. They have a better quarterback, in my opinion, and they have a better
yeah.
defense. Right? They have a better quarterback and better defense, in my opinion. Um,
The defense.
so
I don't know if I would agree with Broncos
really,
Seahawks. I think
I
I
think the
think Seahawks
Broncos
have a
have a
better
really.
defense.
The Seahawks have a good defense. I just think the Broncos have a really, really good defense. I mean, they both have good defenses, and
Yeah,
quite frankly, get where
for
they
sure.
are. I guess my question to you now, Jaclyn, and I'll also kind of make my pick. If you had
Yeah.
to pick the Super Bowl favorite, who is your Super Bowl favorite?
You know, I'm kind of crapping on the Patriots, saying that they've only beaten a .500 one 500 team, which is true. But at the same time, I don't know who is actually better than the Patriots. I'm still gonna go, however, Rams are probably the Super Bowl favorite. I want it to be the Bills. I think it could be Patriots Rams in the Super Bowl with Rams winning it, but I want to see Bills Rams in the Super Bowl.
So I'm really disappointed because I wanted to take the Rams. But in my head, I was like, I'm going to choose the Rams right now. And then you chose the Rams, and now it's not exciting for us to
You can
both take
still
them.
go with the Rams. You
I
can
know, I
give your
know.
reasons.
I know, and I really like. I like that team. I like Puka. I love Stafford. Right, like I just
Yeah,
special team. Matthew Stafford's been dynamite this year, literally dynamite.
yeah,
I want to say the Bills because every year I want to say the Bills because I just want Josh Allen to do it. But the truth is,
let's
Jacqueline,
do it.
the team has so many issues. The defense has a lot of issues. The
Yeah.
receivers aren't that good. They're literally a one-trick pony. I'm not going to choose the
James
Bills.
Cook though. James Cook is cooking. James Cook is
I
cooking.
know, but they really have issues with the receivers and the defense. I'm not going to
Yeah.
choose the Bills. I'm not going to choose the Rams. I'm going to choose, and this is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. They are one of the, yeah, I like that reaction. They're one of the hottest teams in football.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans. They're extremely hot. Yeah, they're it's bold. They're extremely hot. They got a great defense. The offense is clicking. I think defense win championships, Jacqueline, and I'm going to say the Houston Texans, the underdogs, they win the Super Bowl this year.
Wow. They're gonna get past Pittsburgh. They're gonna get past whoever else in the AFC.
I say they get past everyone, and they bring it back to Houston. Yeah, they bring it back to Houston, and they win the championship. I'm going to go bold. I was going to
Wow.
go Rams, but once you went Rams,
Yeah.
I didn't want to copy you. I'm going with the Houston Texans, Jacqueline.
I listen, I love a hot take. But I listen, I don't love it when people make these hot takes just to make a hot take, just for the sake of
Sure.
hot taking. I love when a hot take means something to you, and I
Yep.
can tell that that hot take means something
Yeah,
to you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you believe
Listen,
in CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, listen, he's been playing great football. Their defense is fantastic. You can argue they have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
Special team. I think, and listen, who's hotter than the Texans? They literally have been, 11 and
Yeah.
2 in the last 13 weeks or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I believe so.
So,
Yep.
so I'm going Texans. I'm going Texans.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what? I love that pick. I love that pick. It is
Yeah.
crazy, but I absolutely adore it. And I really I can't wait to see this man. This is the
No.
first year that there's no Mahomes, there's no Burrow, there's no Lamar Jackson. Anyone can win it this year. These powerhouse of teams that we're used to are not here anymore, right? We have Patriots who, yes, they were a dynasty, but then weren't for a while.
Yeah.
Now Drake May figured it out. Vrabel, unreal coach. So much. And also, like, Stephon Diggs, somehow. It's like the wide receiver one again. We have so much parity this year. I just don't want it to be the Eagles. That's just all I'm going to say. Anyone but the Eagles.
Sure. I mean,
That,
we hate the
that
Eagles. Why do we
yeah.
want them to go back to back? The good news for
Yeah.
us, Jaclyn, I don't think they're that team this year. I don't think
No.
they're that team. So I think we're fine. I don't think we have to
Yeah.
worry, quite frankly. I think we'll be fine.
I think we're fine. I do want to talk a little bit about award season because the regular season is over, meaning
Yeah.
the awards that will be given before the Super Bowl are because of the regular season. Nothing for playoffs is a
Yeah.
part of it. So even if Drake May throws like 10 picks, it does not mean he's not going to win MVP.
Sure.
Looking at MVP, it's between Stafford and May. I think that is for sure. I don't think a running back will win it. I think McCaffrey could make the case actually somehow, but a running back has not won it since Adrian Peterson, and a running back will not win. If Saquon didn't win last year, I don't know how a running back will ever win.
Sure.
Who is your pick? Is it Stafford or is it May?
Yeah, so I do want to throw it out that if he ended the year better, Josh Allen had a chance, but no longer.
No.
I'm going Matthew Stafford. Special season, Jaclyn. 46 touchdowns, I believe, maybe more.
Yep, 46, yep.
He was incredible. He circled the wagons. He did it. I mean, the Rams were a good team, but Stafford really showed out and balled out. He had one of the best years of his career in his mid-30s, I believe. Maybe late 30s. It might be mid-30s. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, he is old. He is 37.
36. 37.
Exact. Turning 38 in February.
I'm sorry, Jaclyn. I'm simply going with Matthew Stafford. Incredible. Doing things that just shouldn't be done at 37. Matthew Stafford all day, every day. He's my MVP.
So the Drake May case, a lot of people are making is that they're the best team in the NFL, which is true. They had the best record. Well, actually tied with the Broncos and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The other case that people are making is that he doesn't have the same weapons as Stafford has because all he has is Stephon Diggs, while the Rams and Stafford have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, and, you know, a great system that has worked for so long. You put that in, and you see, and also just the way that the Patriots were last year, and then what the Rams were last year. The Rams were dynamite, while the Patriots were one of the worst teams in the NFL. You put those narratives in, then you say Drake May. But if you're talking winning, and you're talking stats, and you're talking leadership of your team and what we've seen, it's Stafford, because Stafford clearly has the better stats, right? He threw for over 4,700 yards, while Drake May threw for about 4,300 yards. Stafford threw for 46 touchdowns, as you were saying. May threw for 31. So that's 15 less touchdowns.
What about touchdown? Do you know interceptions?
Let me check if I can find the interception list as well. I might have to Google that more. But I believe Stafford has a pretty great, whatever the word is called, ratio with touchdown and reception. Okay, I can't find it here. Oh wait, hold on. Yep, he has thrown 8 interceptions. So 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Stafford, which is fantastic. And then for Drake May, he has thrown 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions as well.
Can I say something, Jaclyn? Can I say something to you?
Sure.
I actually am going to go on a limb right now and say it's blasphemous if Drake May wins MVP. 500 or 600 less yards, 15 less touchdowns, same amount of interceptions, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,700 yards. Are you kidding me? Jaclyn, Matthew Stafford is the MVP. What are we talking about? I didn't realize he had 15 more touchdowns. Come on.
The thing, though, is that they love a story. And I was listening to Peter Schrager on the Bill Simmons podcast recently. And that's what Schrager was saying, is how everyone who votes, they love a story, right? They love the comeback kid. They love how the whole narrative changed in one year, right? We didn't see that with the Rams. The Rams have just been good. They've straight up been good all these years, right? They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago, while the Patriots have been garbage since the Brady-Belichick era ended. Drake May last year potentially looked like a bust. People were already saying that he was a bust. And then he comes out this year. That is the reason why Drake May could win it. But if I had my vote, and I'm just doing it straight up of who should actually win, not because of a story, but because of pure stats, 100% it goes to Stafford. 100%.
I just, I didn't know the stats were such a disparity. After looking at those stats, I don't even think it's close. I think it's runaway Matthew Stafford. I don't think this is a Lamar, Josh Allen last year. I think this is like clearly Matthew Stafford's MVP to win.
hmm I think I agree with you as well. But at the same time, as I said before, it's a storyline and that's what they love
Sure.
because it's true. The Patriots have impressed me. I know that the thing though too is that the Rams have had a tough schedule while the Patriots have had the easiest schedule in all of football. That changes things as well, I believe too. They've only beaten one team above 500. They've
Yeah.
had the easiest schedule known to mankind, while the Rams have faced top teams, man.
Yeah.
Top teams that we've
All year
seen them
long.
play.
Yep.
Rough
Yep.
games, top teams. But that doesn't, I don't think, goes into the voting system. But I, I think everything else that comes to mind when you're talking about an MVP, it should be Stafford over May.
Yep.
That is my pick, and that is your pick as well. All right, we have done football for 50 minutes. You said you want to do hockey. What would you like to start off with hockey? I will give you the floor,
Yeah.
Mr. Owen.
So thank you. I appreciate that. I want to do Habs and World Juniors. I want to start with Habs because if you told me in a Week 18 NFL season at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I would be watching NHL,
Yeah.
I'd say you're crazy. But yesterday, I watched at 2 p.m. Habs Stars. Fantastic game, by the way.
Great game. I
I
watched the highlights. I watched highlights. It was great.
so I watched. First off, I've basically, I mean, it's been a real stepping stone for me at the Habs this year. I've always said when they traded Subban, I lost a little bit of my fanship.
Yeah.
I've watched almost every game this year. Like I've had such a resurgence with hockey with the Habs. I've watched nearly every game with my boys. They're a young team. They're exciting. They're fantastic. They're playing great hockey. And I watched
Yeah.
them win overtime against the Stars. Lane Hudson buried a beautiful goal.
Beautiful. I
So I
saw.
gotta
Yeah.
say,
Stunning.
yeah, I gotta say, I was excited for me. Like my Habs are playing great hockey, and it is exciting. Like very exciting.
Dude, your Habs, like, I know you're on your high horse because of Suzuki making Team Canada. However,
Yeah.
can we talk about Cole Caulfield?
Yeah, snubbed. Lane Hudson, 40
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Snubbed. Snubbed.
Why? Like, as someone who watches the Canadians, like you,
Yeah.
how the hell did they not make Team USA?
I'll talk about Hudson. Hudson, I think, is
Yeah.
one of the best defensemen in the world. Forget about just
Mhm.
American. He's not shutdown defenseman. He is a great offensive defenseman, but he's not known to be
Mhm.
a shutdown defenseman. So if they're just looking at pure offense, it's not even question he's top four. I think
Right.
he's solid defensively, but I think he makes mistakes sometimes. And I watch Habs games, I see him make mistakes defensively.
Sure.
So I get it. They went shutdown. Fine. Cole Caulfield, I can't justify. I cannot justify it.
I can't figure that out at all.
Can't figure it out. Like I think Caulfield was a shoe-in. I don't know, disappointing. I will say I'm happy. As someone who's a Habs fan, he can
Yeah.
rest up, make sure he's 100% healthy. Look, in the Olympics, you risk getting hurt. So now two of our best players will just be healthy, ready to
And
go
also,
for the
they
rest
don't
of
have
the
to
season.
play against our team.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
selfishly, I'm like happy. Selfishly, I don't want to see Suzuki and Caulfield checking each other and Hudson checking whatever.
Yeah.
So in a selfish way, I'm happy. Keep them off. Let's win gold. Let Caulfield and Hudson stay healthy throughout the
Sure.
2 3 weeks. So like selfishly, I'm happy. But they deserve to make that team. They did deserve to make the
Yeah.
American team.
I was shocked. Matthews, I've not talked highly of him. He has really been impressive these
Amazing.
last little bit here.
Amazing.
He has been terrific. I'm not gonna go fully back though on my comment because I don't know if he's a winner still. He's playing unreal, but there's a leadership that is involved with it. And the
So,
team isn't winning games the way that they
so
should be.
I was talking to our mutual cousin, Mr. Adam Kula, and I saw a speech.
Shout out Adam.
Austin, shout out Adam. I saw a speech Austin Matthews gave after a win, and I said it was one of the worst speeches I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not
I
exaggerating.
didn't even see
He's
that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw it on social media. A horrible leader. I'm with you, Jaclyn. I think he's a horrible, horrible leader. I don't think he's a winner. I don't think he really cares enough. I don't think he'll ever win a Stanley Cup in Toronto. Um, I think it's Canada, US in the finals, and I think we come out on top. I really think he's a bad leader. He's not the guy I want leading my American team. Um, I think they'll be great. The Americans, they have a really great roster. Not as good as Canada, but they have a great roster.
Great roster,
I
yeah.
don't think. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think he's a winner, Austin Matthews. I just don't think he's a winner.
No, listen, he's been great, and it's great for Leafs fans to see. But a team that just beat the Leafs in overtime, the Islanders, including Matthew Schaefer, who's man, what a rookie year that kid is having, defenseman. You know, he was not put on Team Canada, and a part of that I think is because he's a rookie. However, the way he's been playing, I'm a little bit upset that he's not going to be there. I'm really upset that he's not going to be there because
Well,
he
we
has been fantastic.
we saw what he did against the Leafs. That goal in overtime was unbelievable. I mean, he had two goals.
Stunning.
a stunning overtime goal for the win. Schaefer is a superstar. Bedard also another superstar. Look,
Yeah, but he's
the
injured, so I guess you can kind of
yeah,
understand that.
I think what it comes down to, Jaclyn, is for the Americans and the Canadians, even us more than the Americans, we have a embarrassment of riches. Someone has to get snubbed, right?
Yeah.
Sam Bennett definitely got snubbed,
Yeah.
right? Shaper snubbed.
Hmm.
So you know what? When your team is that stacked, you're gonna get snubbed.
Yeah.
Um, it is what it is. We'll see
Yeah.
Schaefer. We'll see Schaefer and Bedard in 2030. We'll see them in
Yeah,
20.
something like that. Yeah, listen, it's going to be another stacked team, which is what's great that Canadians just keep on bringing out the best of the best. Once again, right? The past three overall picks are Canadians: Macklin, Celebrini, Connor Bedard, Schaefer. So it's
Yep.
exciting stuff, and Canada's in good hands. And listen, I want to talk a little baseball before we end it. Obviously, it's the off season; it's quiet. We're still waiting on if we're going to sign Bo. We're going to get Kyle Tucker. We don't know. We've made some big moves though. Nothing crazy yet, but we did just sign Kazuma Okamoto from Japan. He's been playing in the NPB, six-time All-Star. Big signing, 4 years, $60 million, I believe. He is a first baseman, but he can really play anywhere, which is great because we have our first baseman in Vladdy. He'll likely be third baseman, which I think is great, and it really adds a lot of depth to this lineup because he doesn't strike out, he doesn't hit on the ground a bunch, he hits homers, he hits bombs. I am very excited to what this brings, but do think this might change stuff that we see going forward with Bo or Kyle
Yeah.
Tucker.
Look, I think I said on your podcast recently, Jaclyn, they've been going for it in the offseason. They've had a bunch of great, like really, really
Hmm.
quality signings. Don't circle the wagons unless you're going to go all the way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. Weird comparison that comes to my head, but it's like if you had some sort of, God forbid, addiction, it's like you're going to quit all the way.
Yeah,
The opposite in this case, it's like we're going all the way with our signings. So I don't think it
yeah,
makes any difference. I think Tucker or Bichette are both totally on the table. I want Tucker personally,
yeah.
just because I don't. I think you have to take emotion out of it when it comes to signings. Sorry.
Yeah, no, no, you're good. Listen, I
Um,
think I agree with you, and I've had a lot of those conversations about emotion and like leading with your heart, and I think I have been with Bo. But with this signing, it kind of changes stuff of the way I see our team. Like this really adds a lot of depth to our team, and also he can play in the outfield or in the infield. He can kind of do
sure.
everything. While someone like Bo can't, right? He has to. We want him as a second baseman. I know he's a shortstop, but we want him as a
Yeah.
second baseman. I know Kyle Tucker's an outfielder, but this kind of changes things of where you want to put your guy and which guy you want, and maybe Tucker is the right choice.
I still feel like no matter what, Jacqueline, we're gonna get one of them. Whether it's Tucker
Yeah,
or Bichette, I think we're gonna end up with one of those guys. We're just playing a waiting game at this point. But I
yeah,
don't think you stack the team like this and add all these great players if you're not gonna add that final piece. So I think
yeah.
ultimately we'll end up with Tucker or Bichette.
Listen, they have the money to spend. 4 years, 60 million for this Japanese slugger is not a lot of money, and I think it's a great deal. And I
Yeah.
think this is really, yeah, I think it shows that we have the money to spend. We made big signings already for pitchers, for Dylan Cease, a huge contract, but we still have that money waiting for either Tucker or for Bo, and whoever it is, we are going to make a run with whoever it is. Listen, the thought of Bo not being on a Blue Jay forever is really upsetting to see him in another jersey. But at the same time, I understand you have to lead as a winner, right? The Raptors did that, right? We got this guy right here, Kawhi Leonard. DeRozan was our franchise player, man. And we said, no, like you're not winning with us, so we have to let you go. And we got Kawhi and we won the championship. And we were all shocked by it. Bo, on the
Yeah.
other hand, though, did something in the World Series while DeRozan never really did what we needed
Right.
from him. So that
Right.
does change things. But what the Jays are going to do is that, and also what Bo is going to do is that the Jays are going to make the choice as to who's going to win us a World Series in this season. It's 2026 already, meaning
Yep.
the 2025 World Series is gone. That is over.
Yep.
Whatever happened there is done. It's in the past. It was last year. We are in our new year, right? Spring training starts soon in Dunedin. Our season starts in a couple months. They're looking towards a World Series win and not for a fan favorite guy.
Agreed. I think
Whoever they choose. Yeah.
we have to go with the best player. So I'm personally Team Tucker, but you know what? Whatever brings us a championship will make me happy. Either guy can help bring us a championship. We've seen Bo do it. Tucker is
Mhm.
great as well.
Yeah.
So I think we get one of them, Jaclyn. That's what's important. We take one of them for sure.
100%. All right, that's gonna wrap it up. 1 hour in. What an episode, man. Owen, thank you, man, for coming on. I was so excited to talk about this. What a week of football that we got, that we were spoiled to. I had Red Zone on all day yesterday. I was absolutely spoiled. I was absolutely loving every second of it. Love seeing my Giants get the win against the Cowboys to finish off a season. Obviously, it meant nothing for us, unfortunately, but excited for what the future of the Giants is going to bring. And yeah, the next time we see our Giants play will be the 2026 season, and hopefully with another star receiver, with a healthy offense and defense, and with a superstar head coach, whoever it may be. If it's Harbaugh, if it's Spagnuolo, if it's Tomlin,
if it's Phillip Rivers,
if it's Eli Manning and Lawrence Taylor and Michael Strahan and Odell Beckham Jr., like Mr. Cruz, like whoever it may be, come on back. We want you guys here. But man, I am so excited for Wildcard. We will be back soon to talk about Wildcard very soon. We have Olympics coming up so soon. I can't wait. Owen, once again, thank you for joining me, and thank you all for watching.
Jaclyn, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching again. Subscribe to the channel, please. Give this episode a like, and I'll see you next time for another, hopefully a great episode again. Thanks all. Bye-bye.